Hey, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got DJ Never here.
Yo, what up?
We got DJ D Miles.
What's good, what's good?
We got Jamie the Great.
Yeah.
And this is the special LA edition of the R.O.A.D podcast. We have invaded the Beat Source offices. We set up camp over here. And we wanted to hit up all our favorite LA DJs.
Yes,
and we got
indeed.
one of my favorite LA DJs, Pomona's finest, Ptown in the building.
Ptown, baby.
Ptown in the building.
The home of Sugar Free, baby.
Absolutely,
absolutely. She
absolutely.
was a streaming legend. I put her up there with like D Nice as some of the DJs during the pandemic who really, they really made it pop on IG Live, and then they took that. She took her following and she killed it on
Took
Twitch.
her talents, baby. Took her talents.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, and she's taking over the world right now. She's the official DJ for the Raiders. We got DJ Angie V in the building.
What they do?
Ange, what's good?
Nothing, man. Just happy to be here, be back. Just,
I'm glad you came through.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me back. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I'm down.
Do you remember our first do you remember when you were on our podcast and with the conversation that we had you, Bella Fiasco, and Lady Shaw on?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was like the pandemic just started, everything was shut down. And
Yep.
do you remember
Crazy
what
time.
we were talking about that episode?
Lightly. I would be lying if I didn't say the flurry of podcasts that I did in that time was crazy.
Everyone had a podcast.
Everyone, and at that moment, everyone was home. So,
Yeah.
But I do remember some of the things we talked about. Absolutely.
Okay.
And Bella and Shah are two of my favorite human beings, like not just DJs, humans. So,
Yeah.
I remember having a good time. Those girls are just, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were on and you were recording with us,
Okay.
you said, one of your options was to go, work at Amazon. And,
Yeah.
and you said, do you remember this?
100%. 100%. I will never. I get emails still to this day. Yo, come pick that 15 an hour check up. I swear to God, it's a true story. I still get emails.
And then you were on Instagram Live, like a bunch of DJs.
Yeah.
Some of them were frustrated. They were trying to build their following. You were like racking up crazy numbers. You had like maybe 500, 800, 1,000, couple thousand on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
I remember you were one of the first DJs I saw that had like sponsorships. I don't know if was it Corona or something?
Corona. Yeah.
Corona?
Yeah.
That's a big boy sponsorship too. That's not no bullshit sponsorship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. I just don't think about it. So like you're saying it, I'm like, damn, that sounds dope. Like hearing it from somebody else. Yeah.
And then you went to Twitch.
I did.
Kept it going. And then you signed with Scam, right?
I did. Yeah.
Suji, he was like, yo, Angie V's killing it.
Yeah.
On Twitch. I got to sign this girl. And then like, yo, you just, like right when everything opened up, everyone wanted you. You were in demand.
Hit the ground running.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
It
that
does.
Freaking sounds great.
I'm
I
like
love the way that sounds.
I feel like this is the first time you're
Kind of.
you're
like
slowing
shocked to
down.
hear this.
Yeah, a little bit. I think I haven't heard it in that way, and that's fucking dope. Shit, that
It's
sounds
almost
great.
I mean, this is your story.
wow.
It's almost been 3 years since that Zoom call.
Yeah.
It was May 6, 2020.
You're kidding me.
2020.
God, that's insane.
Well, you haven't. It sounds like you haven't had a time to like
Slow
process
down.
it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm really weird about that. Like, there's time. I'm just weird. I just go.
Right.
I try not to look back too much. I try not to look to my right. I try not to look to my left. But I made it aware to myself this year. You really did some dope shit. Like, bitch.
Yeah.
You were that bitch for a minute. And you didn't even really take a moment to breathe that in and accept that.
Yeah.
Which I also love too. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't ever want to be comfortable. But yeah, I don't. And I made a promise to myself to breathe and stop and look around. Like look around and see the moments that are amazing to you, because they come and they go so fast, and they're done. And the minute they're done, my brain is already like, okay, cool. I can have 5 more shots until I can get on this flight at this time, because I got to be in this city next. And I prayed for that life. I've always wanted it. I'm made for the streets. I always like to say I'm made for it. So I enjoy it. But you're right. I don't always take the time to really look at it.
I feel like I'm very similar to you.
Yeah.
And the reason why I don't take time to like enjoy or process anything, and because I feel like I've been through so many ups and downs.
Yes.
so that every time was maybe when I'm scared to celebrate.
Yep.
And then I'm scared if I have a low point, I'm scared to dwell in the low point.
100%.
So the only thing I could do is just keep moving forward, so that I'm, and when you just keep moving forward, you're on to the next.
You don't have room to be disappointed.
You have no room to be disappointed.
Is it a trauma that we probably experienced in life? 100%.
Yeah.
But does it work for us also? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is it. I'm very married to like constant. I don't even want to say constant stimulation, like, ooh, that girl's crazy. But I do, you just keep moving. And the more you try to hold on to something, the harder it hurts when it's not yours.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So to just live with the moment that you also have to accept what goes up comes down, right? So like you can't live in that feeling of like being number one and being the best, because it's so unrealistic. There is no one in this world that experiences that every minute of the day. So if you kind of just move with a very light, what's for me is for me, and what is not for me, I have to also accept that too, even if I don't agree with it, and just keep it motherfucking moving. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's all. Just keep it moving.
Because when you're down and you just keep moving, you at least have a goal, right?
Agreed.
And you're keeping busy.
Yes.
But then when you're popping, if you get too comfortable,
Popping.
you're gonna be like, I'm gonna lose you feel like I'm gonna lose this shit. So if I stay busy, I'll continue this, and I'll just at least keep it going
While I can. And I think sometimes, like what you just said, I always think I'm gonna lose everything. Like that's
all of us.
How I feel, right? Like tomorrow's the day my stream is at 0. Tomorrow's the day I get the phone call like, yo, she's just not cutting it, right? So, but again, it is just us prepare. Like for me, just how I prepare myself to constantly be okay in this world. Because the truth is, those moments are going to happen. You're going to get that. And so if you're so in love with the high, being low is going to fuck you up. And I don't want to be fucked up. I like being just cool. Like, this is dope. This fucking sucks, but it's cool. Well,
I'm not done. We're here to celebrate. We're here to reflect.
It's cool. I'll take it. That felt great.
We're here to reflect and celebrate you for a little bit. So like, all right, so everything opened up.
Yep.
You got some amazing residencies.
I did.
Right? Open arms at like Wynn Properties.
I did.
I think Tao Group as well.
I play at Tao. Yeah, Tao Group. Yeah.
And then also you got your opportunity to, I guess, I don't know how it is being like, and someone from LA, but going to the Raiders and getting invited to DJ at the Raiders.
Being Mexican,
and I think you were
and
you were invited to. Were you invited? Well, I want to hear about this. You were DJing for Little John, right? Little John was performing, or what was going on with this?
It's like insane, right? Like I am a diehard, first and foremost, diehard from birth Raider fan. Like I'm talking birth, Jeff Hostetler. Like I know my shit when it comes to Raiders, right? Like. And people are always like, oh, you're a big football fan. I'm not a football fan. I'm a Raider fan. Like, that's just has always been me. I've had birthday parties as a kid as Raiders. Like, it's just my shit. Yep. So I remember streaming, and during one of, like, the first seasons where the world still wasn't open and they were kind of, like, figuring stuff out, I would, like, decorate my Sundays with Raider stuff. And I was, like... Even when I heard the Raiders were coming to Vegas, I wasn't sad. I mean, there was a part of me that was bummed out that they left California, but the other part of me just saw opportunity, like, okay, they're coming to Vegas. And if they come to Vegas, that's new energy. And, somehow, some way, like, I will figure out how to weasel my way into that shit. I don't know what that means.
You were closer to the Vegas stadium than the Oakland stadium.
And that was the other thing. Like, I can get on the road the morning of a game and be there. You can't do that shit in the Bay.
Yeah.
It's like an ordeal. So I just thought it was like, I believed in my heart. Did I really think it would happen? Probably not. But I still just created this thing like, I'm going to somehow get in the building. And then when had decided, Wynn came along and they were doing Wynn Group, I was like, well, I'm playing at the Wynn. So like, that's another step closer to like, who knows, maybe that'll, and I was happy with that.
Yeah, because the Wynn has like this nightclub.
It's the craziest shit that you will ever see
inside the Raiders Stadium. Yeah,
in the end zone.
Craziest shit, like full on nightclub. Are these people probably Raider fans? Probably not, but the experience is so amazing that it's just unmatched.
It's a dope experience.
It's a great experience. So I know, and I would have been happy just playing a set in the background that no one noticed, just being there, right? So I remember. I want to say it was like January. It was actually New Year's. I think I want to say it was around coming close to New Year's, and Suji calls me and he's like, "Yo, I have something for you, but I'm not gonna really tell you because I don't know yet." Like, which that's annoying. Like,
Yeah.
but okay.
Don't tease, Mom.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, great. And then he finally comes to me and he goes, "Yo, you're not gonna." I might have even been in the Bahamas. I can't remember, but he's like, "Do you think I could top the Bahamas for New Year's?" And I was like, I mean, this is pretty dope. I'm pretty happy right now. Like, this is my shit. I love the beach, you know? I don't know. And he's like, you're going to DJ for the little halftime show with Little John. And I'm like, what? And I guess from the story that I remember, it went, they were going to book Little John for halftime. And then they were like, oh, you know, and we'll do an opening DJ to open because this game was going to be, if we won this game, we were going into the playoffs for the first time in a very, very, very long time. So it was a big deal. Sujit's like, oh, well, you know, let me show you my roster. Like Sujit being Sujit. And they're like, well, we went through your roster and we thought maybe either Angie V. And he was like, stop right now. Like, before you say anything else, you know, this girl, no one on my roster gives two shits about anything that is the Raiders. This girl's a diehard Raider fan. And the Raiders were like, that's amazing. We love that right off the bat. So apparently I was going to DJ like the opening for a few minutes. But then John Madden passed away and that got cut because now that was going to be a John Madden tribute.
Yeah.
But the Raiders actually came and they were like, but we still really want to incorporate Angie because we love that she's a fan. And so do you think that she would be okay with, or John would be cool if she did the set with John? You know, would he be okay if she was his DJ? And John being amazing, and John was like, cool, John, whatever, dope, whatever. So we did it, and it was, they really treated me with like the utmost. You get like a custom jacket if you perform at halftime that no one else gets unless you're a performer. With
I know. I
name.
remember seeing you posting on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was proud of you. I'm like, damn, this is so dope.
It was the dopest.
You got like a
thing
jersey
for me.
and a jacket.
Yeah, they
like,
gave me a
you got whole
custom
thing,
jersey
right?
with the year that I performed. They gave me a jacket, and you guys know us as DJs. Sometimes when you're DJing with an artist, you're just the hired help. You're just there.
The background.
You're up. You're putting a song on. Like no one. There's a lot of times no one really cares about us. So for the Raiders to be so insanely, amazingly welcoming in that way was like, it was just dope. And we did it. We did the halftime show, which ended up being the #1 halftime show in all of, I think, the NFL.
Wow.
It was amazing. I mean, John is hit. Like you can't. John is just the hit master. And it was just a really great experience with the Raiders. I had my own little fan base there that day that was so hyped for me because a majority of my crowd is Latino and is a Raider fan. So it just felt like a really great combination. And they came back and, you know, they're like, hey, we really want to incorporate Angie into the season. And I think we're still trying to figure out what that means because it's, you know, it's myself, it's Hector, CO, who's up top. CO1. And he's doing like
CO1,
CO1.
yeah.
He's doing like the play stuff. So it still is a lot of figuring out, but whatever. I was there. It was my shit. I was asked to be there, and it was probably the most like I can't imagine for me as on a personal level. I'm cool. I'm great. Life is great. That's dope. You know, I don't love anything like I love the Raiders. So
I think like all of us DJs, I think we're like, you know, DJs can be some of the biggest haters in the world.
Yeah.
But I think we were all like really genuinely happy for you.
Thank you.
And then and you know, we saw you up there, and I remember seeing like you were showing everything, like, you know, opening a box, getting the jersey, getting the jacket,
crying.
Was so crying. Like I couldn't, like I could cry instantly right now about it. It's so dope.
No, but we were all so happy for you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And you know, knowing, and I just thought it was so funny because when we had you on the podcast, you know, I feel like, you know, we're all like such blue collar. You know, we're all come from like really humble beginnings.
Definitely.
And then for you, you're in your mind state, you were like, yo, like, you know, the pandemic hit, you know, I'll go work at Amazon.
Yeah.
Yo, and it's one of those things to me. I thought you came from such a humble, you know, like you had so much humility, and then you worked your ass off. And every step of the way, it was like, for some reason, I felt like this was the time it had to happen because you were ready every step of the way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
and I feel like you were like really performing. So like when I saw you at Raiders Stadium, I was like, she's going for it.
Yeah.
She's going on.
She was ready for this.
I remember I was telling Neva,
yeah.
I was like, none of us would have been that amped.
No, yeah.
Not at all.
None. There's so
She
many
had the jacket
DJs
on. Yeah.
that would have done it like you did.
But that's because I like.
Yeah.
It's so genuine, like in my heart for that organization specifically.
Yeah.
That like. I can't not, right? Like I can't. It's just I'm at home screaming. I'm the girl that's annoying screaming at my TV. I'm just like I'm an ugly football fan person. Like what the like not attractive at all. So when I am on that screen with that, and it's like Angie, we're coming to you. It's genuine. That is a genuine amp excitement of like craziness.
No,
for me.
I was like, yo, she's doing it like she's doing it for TV. Like, that was
Yeah, she was ready.
That was good.
I mean, in fairness, that is kind of what I am doing, right? Like,
Right.
I don't have a lot of time slots, so I am very much there to bring an energy into that stadium visually on screen. The 10 seconds that I'm on there, so it is definitely like that's probably the most important part is making sure like I am like. We're doing this shit. Yeah, we fucking suck right now, but we're gonna be the best at some point. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
It was great.
It was hard being a Red fan.
It was great. So how does this dynamic work? Are you there for every game?
So I was there for every game up until I want to say like the last 2 or 3 games. My entertainment got cut. You know, we didn't have the season that we really, really wanted to have. So, like I said, it's still just trying to figure out like with how the season went and how we were going around and going about things. So yeah, I was every home game up until probably the last 3.
Oh wow.
But I still got to go and still was there.
Wait, what are your duties though? Like, what do you have to do?
So my duties are I show up and basically they'll say, I kind of got the hang of it. It probably took me like 2 or 3 games to get the hang of it because it's very like, okay, Ange, we're going to cut to you right now. You got about 20 seconds. Give me like 3 songs.
So it's a lot of production. You got the headset on.
I got the headset on. I'm watching the whole game. We have a script, but the odds of us hitting that script is very rare because it's very based on what happens to the game, right? So like playing calls, you know, it's an idea of maybe how it's going to work, but it never is exact. So it's just me on the comm and, you know, like waiting for the moment. That's like, okay, Ange, we're going to get ready to come to you. Like, here we go. Higher energy, 3 songs. Now, you guys know 3 songs in 20 seconds is like hard. And there's no way. I don't have a monitor down there. Have you ever been in a stadium and tried to play?
That's, yeah.
I mean, if anyone's a real DJ's there, like, this bitch is trash.
You hear the delay, right?
You hear the delay is insane. So you have a headset that you have to listen to cues, but then you have this ear, but then the stadium, it's probably the hardest thing I've ever done.
I mean, the stadium, like if you're in the stadium, there's like sound is just echoing from every part of the dome.
Yeah.
I've honestly, the last time I was there was maybe like, it was a little early on, but I was like, the sound sounds horrible. Because like you're hearing, like depending on where you're sitting,
okay,
you could hear like 2 parts of this, like, you know, you hear like one part echoing on one side and another part hitting the other.
Like even if I had a monitor, it wouldn't matter. So I think we might have tried once, and I was just like, there's no point.
Are you just reading waveforms? And
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm like doing this. I look crazy at first, right? So I was kind of like trying to figure it out. Then I just got smart and preset shit and cues after.
Yeah.
But like I said, it took me probably like 2 games to get really comfortable with doing it that way. And then I would just kind of like pre-mix stuff at home so that I could like add shit on top and drops and at the same time freaking do this on screen. Like, so
I think you're doing all the right things. That's what all of them do. Like,
you really, if you want to be effective and do it in a way that is, you got to make it work. And so that's kind of what I did.
We just saw a video with DJ Vic One, right?
Yeah.
He's the Chargers DJ.
Yeah.
And he has like, you know, he has a whole setup.
He's
got like
drops.
an iPad with like a touch screen of like maybe like 20 drops.
Yeah, about 20 to 40 drops.
See, it's not, that's not, like, that's what I'm saying is like, I think everyone's still trying to figure out what a dynamic a DJ has with the Raiders and how, you know, when I went to the Rams game when we played the Rams and, you know, their DJ's LED lit up, full on is like almost doing the whole, mic work.
Yeah.
That's definitely like not what we are. We're very like, we have, I just have a DJ set up, camera comes on you quick, boom, let's go. So, I'm really hopeful that whatever, this is, and if it was that season only, it was a blessing 100%. But I see myself doing a lot more with I know that organization is for me. I've never felt more at home somewhere, but I'm saying like I know I could do more and hope that I get the chance to
I feel like Dash does the Win Club
Club,
inside the arena, the stadium. I feel like he has the most comfortable setup.
100%.
He's just doing the club.
Yeah.
And it's dope. Everyone's ready to
It's crazy.
party, and Dash kills it. And Dash is a Raider fan too. So diehard, like me and Dash before the season, any of this, we're always like, yo, Dash. Like I couldn't be happier to go through this experience with Dash and sharing that space with him. He's just, I love him. But yeah, he's hell yeah. After he's got all the girls in the booth, like he got it made. Dash got it made. The bottles, it's popping.
You got a lot of shit going on in Vegas.
I do, yeah.
Have you ever thought of moving to Vegas?
For taxes, 1,000 mother effing %.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say.
Jesus Christ.
What are you doing, Ange? Why are you paying state tax? Why are you doing all this shit?
She like that spot.
I'm. You know what? I don't ever see myself living outside of California. It's just me, and I grew up. I was lucky to grow up in a place that was 45 minutes east of LA. So I don't.
Were you born and raised in Pomona?
No, I wasn't actually. I was born and raised. Like I say the Inland Empire because I pretty much have lived
IE.
in the IE, but I was born in San Bernardino County, baby, right here. And then I was raised mostly in like Rancho Cucamonga, Altaloma area, which is actually back then was pretty not very urban.
No, it was super white.
Yeah, super white. So I was raised very white, actually, yeah.
That's where, and next Friday, that's where Uncle Roy.
When I
moved with
say
the white
Rancho
folks.
Cucamonga, they are like, Friday? It's a real place?
I never knew that place existed. I thought it was part of the movie.
No,
They just
it's real.
named it.
On the way to Vegas. It's like,
It sounds made up, right?
does, yeah.
Rancho Cucamonga crack killers.
it is a real place. And back then, it is definitely
All white.
gentrified now.
Yeah.
But back then, it was extremely white. My dad was in and out of jail. And my grandmother, his mom, she married a doctor, so she had money. And so she was like, I want to put you guys in a place that you will do well in. So were we in the ghettoest apartments of the nicest city? 1,000%. But yeah, I was raised like a white girl.
That's some like Dave Chappelle shit, right?
It's
Where he's like, my family could just afford to be in the brokest part of the best neighborhood.
100%.
Right?
Everyone that lived in my apartments were the only hood kids at the schools that I went to. Like, we lived in the hood apartments of the city. But it was cool. I loved it. I always tell people, I know how to be around rich people, and I know how to be around the crackheadiest people as well. Like, it's just, and I love that. I think that's my favorite part of growing up for me, is getting to see the both of those worlds at the same time.
So when did you like go to Pomona?
I moved to Pomona.
Because I relate you to Pomona very much.
Most people do. I've been in Pomona for like over 10 years now. So, and I think it was kind of like when my DJ career kind of just started, like I really was more serious about it. I started working consistently. So everyone just knows me from being in Pomona. And I remember Dom Prieto, he is like Mr. Big Deal now. I'm Live Nation. Shout out to Dom. What up, Dom? He was a young promoter doing parties in downtown Pomona, and he booked me. And so we kind of like just started that relationship with Pomona, and I just kind of always had a foot. I just kept a foot there. It's downtown Pomona is very close to my house and easy, and it just felt like I'm the girl that a lot of, I got a Mexican, I got a big family, so, and they like to turn up. So it always gave me a space to have events that my family, friends, and everyone just come and have a good time.
Did you ever DJ with DJ R.O.A.D?
I did Gotham. I want to say like 2 times, but it was very right around the time, right? Like he passed pretty quickly after that.
Wait, who's this?
DJ R.O.A.D. He was
He's
probably one of the biggest DJs in LA for a long time. He threw his own events called Gotham City, and they were mainly out.
It was Inland Empire. Yeah, he was
huge. And he had an event in San Francisco on his way back. Him and some of his buddies had a bad car accident. They all died.
No, actually, not all of them. I want to say Rowdy.
Rowdy.
Crucial was in that car.
Oh, was he?
Crucial was in that car. Artistic was in that car. I believe Art was in that car. Rowdy, and I want to say one of maybe the photographer or something had passed.
Yeah.
Going to the Grapevine.
Okay, what is Pomona like? I'm not, I'm from New York.
It's very Latino and black based.
I gotta take you to the Pomona swap meet.
Ooh, popping. It's a car swap meet.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the indoor?
Yes.
Let me tell you something about the indoor, okay?
See how the gold?
Stack. I'm gonna say this one not, but yeah. So it's
like the Bronx.
No, it's more like
Queens.
North Las Vegas. It has its parts. It's a little grimy, but then it has good parts and it has bad parts.
Wait, is it known to be grimy?
Oh,
yes.
Pomona?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pomona.
Yeah.
Pomona is the grimier part of Inland Empire. San Bernardino.
But here's the thing: Pomona technically is not Inland Empire because it's the end. It's the last city of LA County. So it's LA County.
Adjacent.
It's the last city,
right,
and then
right
right
up the
after you're going into the Inland Empire. So some people get weird about that, like because I'll be like, "Oh, I'm from the IE," but people that are in Pomona are very married to that. Well, this ain't the IE, and it's like chill.
It's funny. People from the IE be like, "I'm from LA." I'm like, "You're not from LA."
Yeah.
You're
sure.
from the IE.
Sometimes it's easy when you're out of state. I'm one of those people when I'm out of state and I'm in like Nebraska. I'm not saying I'm from the IE. Like they're like, but anywhere like surrounding. Yeah.
So it's like Newark.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm from Jersey. Like, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm from New York, but I live in Jersey.
Yeah, Newark.
Yeah.
How far is New York?
Newark is in New Jersey.
Okay.
I don't know, probably like hour or so.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Across the bridge.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
But it's like borderline New York shit.
Yeah.
They can get away with they can get away with saying they're New York until they meet a New Yorker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you from New York? Oh, I'm from New York.
Like nah. Wait, where are you from?
I'm from Silver Lake. I'm from LA.
Oh shit.
I'm from downtown Echo Park by the Dodger Stadium.
Okay, that's like hardcore.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. You're like the real deal.
Before it got gentrified, Silver Lake was not one for play or Echo Park.
Pomona's on that tip right now. So like
it's getting gentrified.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
getting there.
It's actually extremely it's an expensive city to buy in because we have the colleges surrounding us and then we have the Claremont colleges.
Cal Poly,
Pomona to our left. Yeah, so like my street, I live in a center of a neighborhood and all north of me gentrified. South of me, like I'm the middle house.
Pomona's about 20 minutes from Disneyland.
Yep. Yep.
It's funny because in Inglewood, I knew nothing about Pomona. All I knew was sugar free.
Sugar free.
That's
Yeah.
it. I just knew
Real
sugar free
pimp.
was from Pomona.
Sugar free is from Pomona.
Yeah.
Still
That's all I
drives
know.
around Pomona.
Ptown.
Still on the streets. Like people see sugar free on the streets all the time.
Really?
I was like, damn, they got black people in Pomona. I had no idea.
Oh yeah. Actually, when I was young, I felt like it was predominantly black.
Uh-huh.
Now it is definitely more Latino. Well, in my specific
Wait, Pomona?
area, yeah.
I always thought it was Latino the whole time.
When I was younger, like a kid,
I
feel like it was not as much.
It's crazy.
Now it's like
Super gentrified.
like South is Little Mexico for sure.
You got your party there, right? You're not down?
Yeah.
Yeah, you started.
down.
Why did you keep your party in Pomona? I would think like most people would try to have like a cool party in LA. Or like inside LA, like in Hollywood or something.
Yeah.
But you were like, nah, I want to do a party in Ptown.
And I love the setup, by the way.
Oh my God, it grew. It's really weird. Like,
But wait, why'd you keep it in Ptown? Why?
it started there. I started it before the pandemic. It had already been a thing.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, I don't know. I just thought, I wish that I could say it's just convenient, and I didn't really know what it was going to be like after the pandemic. I didn't know what it was like. What it turned into was was very unexpected, and I think that new presence and new energy was a little scary for me. So I needed that familiarity of just at least knowing where I'm at, knowing the place, knowing the venue, knowing how to work. And not only that, I'm really good friends with people in the venue. So it's just bread for us. Like, why take it to LA and give it to somebody else when we'll do just as we sell out here in Pomona? It just didn't need to be done, to me, in my opinion.
When did you start that party?
I started that party in, I want to say, 2018. Do you guys remember, anybody remember Detox? Up on the Pomona rooftop?
Yeah, Pomona rooftop.
Which I was like the one party that they had. Adam Pun has always been a good friend of mine. He's always booked me on some stuff. And
Damn,
like,
I haven't heard
Adam
Adam
PSA?
saying-
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adam.
That's my guy.
That was my boy.
I used
I
to
hope
work
he's
with him
doing well.
over at Infusion Lounge all the time.
Yeah.
So Adam did Detox, and he would always tell me, like, you should do your own. There was two, a big one and a little small patio. It's like, why don't you take over the small patio? Well, yeah. It's like, you should do something. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. And I remember one birthday party I had, it was Cholo theme. And this was before anybody was doing like any type of Cholo parties, because it wasn't really popping at the time, right? It was still looked upon as kind of, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to get shot.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I did that party, and it was in my mom's backyard. I didn't want to have a birthday that year, but it's like, you got to do it. I was like, Mom, 50 people. It was like 150 people. She wanted to kill me. But everyone came dressed, and my friends that had lowriders actually brought those cars.
Oh, that's sick.
And it was so dope. And we did a video and put it on Instagram, and the amount of comments I got from like, this should be oh my God, like this looks so fun. This would be amazing. It just kind of triggered my brain. And I thought, well, I got this little space. Let's try a Sunday. Sundays are for old school to me in my brain. Like, try it.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's just see. And each week, kind of, we did. Our first one was actually a Thursday night, not up top. Did okay, but he's like, try it on a Sunday. Try it on a Sunday, and it just slowly built. And then next thing, we were selling out that little roof. It was tiny, but we were selling the little rooftop. Mm-hmm. And it did well. And then by 2018, it was a thing. Like, it was very family, and like everyone knew each other.
It was like a backyard boogie.
Yes, and we all knew each other, and it was everyone's kind of like escape to get away and just kind of like listen to cool music. It was just something so different at the time.
And organic,
yeah. And Scam and Jam, which is another party like that, was out here in LA. And I kind of felt we started at the same time, and I'm actually involved in that party as well. That was another reason I didn't take it to LA. I felt like they had that. Mm-hmm. So like,
what's it called? Scam and Jam?
Scam and Jam. And that's huge. They do like 1,500 people at the Regent once a month.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
I love that he did it on Sunday, because Sunday is known as a cruise day.
Absolutely.
It's very like, family day for Mexicans. It's like super, super dope.
It's a very musical day to me, like in a Chicano culture. It's a very musical day. There's music on in your house. You're cooking. You're outside barbecuing. You're watching a game. There's just always a certain type of music.
I mean, the cool cruises happen on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, a cruise is when everybody meets up with their lowriders or their hoopties or whatever, and then they just cruise down the streets and they take over the blocks.
And they just bump their music.
Yeah.
You know, what I find interesting, me being from New York and the East Coast, when I would meet like Mexicans or Latinos or Hispanics in LA, I felt like they were suppressing their culture or some of their heritage to like fit into this like cookie cutter, like white friendly Hollywood scene, right? Or like, or they had to make a choice of being like, yo, am I gonna fit into like the Hollywood like white scene, or am I gonna be hip hop?
It's hard.
You know what I mean, right? So
it's hard. It's even for me hard now.
So when I met Jamie, and even when I saw you, like how you were kind of moving with your Instagram lives, it was one of the first times I really saw, especially a DJ, like a Mexican DJ that was like very open and like open to their culture and like sharing their culture with everybody. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying?
No, you're not.
When she
because I feel like everyone was like, yeah, I'm Mexican, but I'm not like, I'm not
that Mexican.
Yeah, I'm not like that, you know?
I'm not a paisa or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. There's two types of Mexicans, especially in California. There is a Mexican and there's a Chicano. Like, and they're very, 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 very different.
Right.
So Chicano culture, which was what I come from, I don't speak Spanish fluently.
But you understand it.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
We have our own words that are not in the Mexican like dictionary. You know what I mean? So it's just a very different lifestyle, and I think that specific lifestyle has a very hood kind of like people see it as a very low level type of lifestyle, but I think
it's also been stereotyped in Hollywood.
Very stereotyped.
Incredibly,
very the same character all the time. But I think that's because it was also a very new stereotype. Cholo culture really didn't pop off until the 80s, which really wasn't that long ago. So when you look at my generation, our generation, we're the children of maybe Cholo parents, but also kind of was raised a little differently.
I was going to ask you, you're second generation?
Oh, I'm like third.
You're like third. Okay, because I'm first.
Who's the comedian that was like for us
George
East Coast?
Lopez.
No, before him.
Paul Rodriguez.
Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah. I'll say for me growing up, my idea of what a Chicano was George Lopez watching him on TV growing up.
Lopez,
and he did a great job.
Yeah, no, he definitely did a great job.
Actually, mine was Cheech and Chong.
Okay, yeah, grew up on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
me was Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah. Born in East LA. Yeah,
Yep.
Like him, like doing like these, like trying to bring gangs together.
I mean, he did.
And like, remember, like he would have these comedy shows, but then he would show like gang life and trying to like, you know, and from the East Coast, from New York, I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. Like, there's like fucking Mexican gangs, there's Bloods, there's Crips, and he has everyone, and he would have these shows, and he's bringing everyone together. He's like, yo, there's no gangs tonight, there's no violence, this is all peace. So for me, I was, you know,
then, that shit was active.
Yeah.
LA was active back then. You don't really have that now. What it was then.
I mean, there was that big cleanup in 2004, 2005 when the cartels came in.
Yeah.
They came in and they just cleaned up the streets.
So it was still going on in the 80s.
Said, it's out there. It's out there.
80s and 90s, it was still going on.
Oh yeah,
1,000%.
Peak. Yeah, I couldn't work.
No, 80s and 90s was like it was
peak.
Even like from the movie Colors, that's another.
Yes,
100%.
that's peak.
I did like
Blood in, Blood Out, American Me.
Yeah,
Colors.
exactly. Yeah.
It was very 100%. Like my dad was in that, so I definitely saw that culture up in front of my face all the time. Even though we didn't live in that city, like it doesn't matter. You know what it is.
Yeah,
you're gonna get into trouble.
Your dad looks like a veterano. So.
He's still that. I wish I could tell you he loves it still. Like I'm for the streets, but he for the streets. Like he loves it. But it's just who he is, and so yeah. But yeah.
But I feel like you were very honest, like you know, very transparent. Like this is who I am, and you were like kind of like. You and Jamie are one of the first LA Mexicans that I met who were like DJs.
Yeah.
Who were actually like repping for the culture and playing like Mexican shit.
Well,
does that make sense?
I'll put it to you like this. She did the Chicano role where she was playing the oldies, the shit she grew up on, which I did too. But then I went the other way, whereas the cumbias mixing it with hip hop.
But see that year where everyone was streaming, I feel like it opened the door and people were hearing, like I was hearing Mexican DJs play Mexican music for the first time from a Chicano point of view, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, you weren't just hearing Suavemente.
And then all, right? But then all of a sudden, all of these Mexican DJs who were like hip hop, quote unquote hip hop DJs, all of a sudden they started repping for the culture like ultra hard after that year, and I was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize this was like around.
No,
because it wasn't around. So I think you nail it in that aspect. It wasn't around. Like I didn't have anybody that I didn't do it thinking of a plan, right? It just was very.
She did it what she knew.
I just knew it. I knew it.
What was playing on Sunday morning when she was growing up? That's what she displayed.
R.O.A.D Sunday night.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were exposing me because I was like, oh shit, like I didn't know this existed. And then he would play cumbia, and I'm like, yo, I didn't know.
And I was playing what I would hear Saturday mornings. My mom cleaning out.
Yeah, it's a Saturday Sunday thing.
So it's a Saturday Sunday thing. Yeah. So she did one way, I did the other way.
But then all of a sudden, all these like LA DJs came out, and then they're like, no, like I'm Mexican too, like you know we do this shit, and I'm just like, I've met you, I've never heard any of this shit.
Mexican.
Thought you was white.
Right. Wait, bro, you got a flannel? Like, what the hell?
No, I just wanted to see if I was coming, if I was like, you know, maybe I'm misunderstanding the shit. But.
No, I don't. It really wasn't. That's the thing. It wasn't a thing. It really wasn't a thing. But if you look at someone like Art LeBeau, rest in peace, you know, that guy, he's not Mexican, but we think he's Mexican.
Yeah.
He was Armenian.
He looks like a
but
deal.
he has carried on the you made a comment earlier about like we suppress our culture and it's very stereotypical and we play the same, and I made the comment that we play the same character, but there is a very big truth to that in Latino, specifically Chicano culture. We hold it so insanely tight. We listen to the same music for years.
Over and over.
And I mean, it does like, there's from generation to my little nieces, like 5 generations now are singing the same songs that we did as kids. So we do hold our culture a little too tight, I think, sometimes. And we like to pull. If it starts getting a little away from us, it's kind of like, oh, you're selling out, or but the truth of the matter is we have to evolve. And I think something like what Jamie does and myself is, I was not in a gang. I did not grow up in a gang. Did my father? 1,000%.
We did grow up around it.
But you can't tell me that I don't know this music. You can't tell me I don't know this lifestyle because I did grow up around it. And guess what? Like, as much as I loved it, I fucking love oldies on Sunday. Like, Like, no one can tell me shit. I know my shit. I can go hard. I know it. But you know what? A bitch likes to surf on Mondays. Like, you know what I mean? So we have to like get to the point also where we can evolve from like taking this and also understanding like you don't just have to be one thing.
Well, I think what it was too is that everyone wants to DJ. Like, success for DJing in LA is, I want to be in like a Hollywood bottle service nightclub. And it's like, you don't want to, you have to suppress your culture to fit into like a Hollywood bottle service, right?
Yep.
You can't be too Mexican, you can't be too Chicano. You have to like fit into this like,
and that's still
whitewash.
now.
Yeah,
still now.
And I think when streaming came, like, there was an actual platform for you guys to like, you know what I'm saying?
Just
like,
be yourselves,
to showcase this culture, and it was one of the first times I've ever seen it before.
That's the best part of streaming. 100%.
And then I started hearing it more in the nightclubs and everything, right? It started becoming more open. Even to the point where I was so like inspired that I would even play some of the shit. You know what I'm saying?
At Uncle Beach Club.
Yeah.
And I was like, you go, motherfucker. You go.
But it's like I learned from, because I was like, yo, this shit is dope. Like, I've never heard this shit before.
And then you learn Grupo Firme, and you learn all that shit.
But that's a dope part of like, and I will say I missed this about the pandemic so much. We're all working. So the odds of us getting to all go and see each other play is, you get maybe one DJ that has a night off that isn't tired and wants to come out and watch you. But during the pandemic, we all were hanging out in each other's chats and we were watching each other play, and we were like, or we were going to a barbecue at someone's house and streaming. Like, I miss that. That was such a great time that I do miss. But it did give us an opportunity to even learn from each other 100%. Like, even me and even just show who you are, right? Like, I love being in the club. It's dope. It's amazing. But that's just not all I am. And if you build it, they will come. What's for you is for you. People don't like it, they can exit out and go into somebody else's thing. And like, how amazing is that? It's like a gift for DJs. I saw someone playing some weird shit one day. I did like a yacht rock day.
Yacht rock, yeah.
And that's one of my favorite,
like fashion or something.
Yeah, like we did yacht. We called it the Catalina wine mixer, and we dressed like old ladies in wigs and got schmacked, wasted, and it was one of our best. Like, people loved it, you know. So that's I miss that part of the creativity of everyone being home, and like, that was fun. But yeah.
I remember I did Suji's birthday. It was like, you know, like one of the scam artist things. I was in highlight room.
Yeah.
And I was spinning with 4 Color Zach.
Yeah.
And I think I was opening for him. Like, he was coming on after me. And I was just doing like a bunch of, like, I was playing demba, I was playing reggaeton, I was doing like cumbia, I was doing all of this shit.
Yeah.
And then like there was a table that kind of came up to me and yelled at me, and they're like, yo, why you playing all the Spanish shit? And they're like, you got nothing but hip hop moguls in here and you playing Spanish shit. And I just remember laughing, and I was like, yo, like, I got caught up in like the shit that I want to play.
Of where we're coming out of.
Yeah, I just was like, yo, I just wanted to play what I wanted to play, you know? And for me, like, LA is one of those things where I'm like, I'm opening for like 4 Color Zach. I'm really not trying to like.
Yeah.
Yo, what hip hop moguls were they?
I know.
That's why I was laughing. I remember that story.
Like,
you remember that?
What moguls y'all talking about?
No, but I was laughing because I was like, yo, like, I know I got a little caught up in like what I want to play, but
you also had been on lock, because we were still kind of on lockdown that one.
It was a little bit.
We're like coming out. So that was another part was like that.
Nah, it was
hard.
It was still bad.
Yeah,
because that ended up being like a super spreader, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Everyone got COVID.
It was Camp Summit, the first one.
Yeah, it was like
everyone at that dinner got COVID.
You go to the after party, we're like, nah, and then everyone that went to the after party got COVID.
That was a Christmas one.
I didn't, thank God. No, the Christmas one, I think a lot of people.
Yeah. That was the super spreader.
The dinner at whatever.
I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations, but the scam, I lightly remember. I remember you for like 5
But I
minutes.
remember someone came up to me. It was either, I don't know if it was you or somebody.
It was definitely not me, because let me tell you, I was not even on that planet that day.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact it was not me.
Somebody came up to me like, no one plays Latin music in Hollywood.
It was not me.
Yeah, someone said that.
Was
and
it a
I was
girl?
like, yeah, it was a girl. She's like, I never hear Latin music and like I never hear Spanish or Latin music in Hollywood.
They were saying it as a props to you.
Kind of.
Yeah.
They were like,
okay,
that shit was dope. Like, we never hear that in Hollywood. And I looked at Jamie. I'm like, really? Like, y'all don't. And
I want to remember so bad who it was. I can't. I remember.
If it was the table, I think we were the table to the left of you.
It was a
guys.
DJ.
Oh no, to the right.
It was a DJ and it was a girl, and we're outside by the pool.
It was a couple. Yeah,
like,
it was a couple in.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was drunk, but
Yeah, I just can't remember who it was.
But I
it
thought it was
Leslie?
funny. The hip hop moguls and then me
Was it
playing-
Leslie?
No,
I feel like that's something she would be happy to hear. Like she would be like, "Yo, that's dope."
It was her.
Not-
Maybe
was
it could
it
have been
her?
her. Someone. It was
You
somebody.
would remember if it was Leslie though.
I think it
Yeah,
was
you
Leslie.
it was a blurry night. It was a long night. It was a
I was
blurry
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Real bad.
But I thought it was funny because I started thinking about it and I asked him, I'm like, yo, they don't play like Latino music. They don't have.
I mean, that
in
was
Hollywood?
also like the or like the cusp of the Bad Bunny kind of
Right.
thing. So like now, is it different? I would say probably yeah, but maybe then I don't. And then we've been locked down for a year. What you mean they ain't playing shit in LA? So
Right.
you probably just had a little bit of someone that had a little too much to drink and a little too much courage for themselves that night.
Nah, I thought it was funny because I was just kind of like, yeah, like I'm not gonna be one of those LA DJs that are trying to impress y'all.
Yeah,
If that makes any sense.
yeah.
I was just like, I'm not really trying
It's
to.
not the right crowd to impress.
Well, I was just kind of like, what do you want me to do? Play a bunch of hip hop shit so no one can still dance?
Yeah, 100%. And it not
You know
only
what I
that,
mean?
it's like a party night. It's like you're not playing the whole like it's just
It was like 11:15. I'm just like, yo, fam, like you ain't gonna dance.
yeah.
So you want me to play hip hop so you can like pour your drink and be on your phone?
Right.
I was just like, relax.
Welcome
You're
to
not,
LA.
you're not gonna give me no reaction anyway.
No, yeah. So I was just like, yo, fucking relax. And then why are you getting mad that it's Spanish music? Like, for me, it just became like, yo, fucking relax.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought I felt like that year changed a lot of shit. I heard a lot more DJs playing Latin music. And for me, what I thought was more important, they were playing like, they were repping for like Mexican culture.
Yeah.
In California.
I 100%.
You would agree, right, Jamie?
Oh yeah, 1000%.
I would.
It makes me happy to like be a part of something that this is who I am. So I love that, and I will say I think the truth of the matter was we built a lot of momentum on IG Live, but Sundays was the day that it made my following send it to their grandma and send it to their aunts and send it to their uncles. And so then it just really broadened that expansion because we listen to that as a family, like our culture does. So I think it was something that had never been done and it just hadn't been done. So the minute you see something that resonates with you that you can relate to that hasn't been done, like you're on it. And I think it showed a lot of Latinos that, we do have like a lot of power if we just actually come together and use it, and like it's there. I would probably say the majority of Twitch people at this point that are active users are a big chunk of Latinos, and I always shout that out on my stream that I'm proud of. Yo, man, we brought the hood to like I brought people to Twitch over that I didn't think would ever probably make that switch, but we stayed on it and we helped and we did it, and there's a big Latino presence on Twitch on an app that they probably never would have done. Yeah.
You've been coming to Vegas and DJing for a long time.
Yeah.
Yet I've never really met you.
Yeah. I was an opener and like I opened at Ptown.
Yeah.
That was you remember Omar back in the day?
Of
I know
course.
everybody knows
we
Omar.
still know.
Back in the day.
Omar's at Mac
still
Agency, so
working.
these
Yeah.
guys.
Still
yeah.
working.
Oh no, Omar's my
I
dude,
have to
man.
say something else right now.
Omar's my guy.
He's still an asshole.
Yeah. He's still around. He's still around.
Still around.
He
I
just
always
has
tell
an
people-
ascot. He just has an ascot, and he
He's got
wears
ascots.
He has an ascot, and he doesn't wear socks.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah,
difference. now.
100%.
Yeah.
He man, that guy, I love Omar. He was the worst, but I loved it. Like
He's the worst
He's
and the
the
best.
worst.
he was the worst. Like
Yeah.
don't you gonna fucking cry? Yo, you gonna fucking cry? You're not gonna cry. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fucking cry. But like he taught me how to be like a tough bitch. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like yo, I don't care if you're a girl. I don't care if it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Like you want to do this? You want to do this? You go in Vegas now. This is different. You got to up and down. You got to roller coaster. You got to go down. You got to go up. He taught me so much, and like I just fucked with him for it. Like he just. That's funny because it's like, oh, I can handle Suji. I had Omar back in the day.
Right.
Like Omar. I can probably handle anything.
Tao Omar.
Yeah,
He's
Omar.
actually chilled out a bit.
He's chilled out a lot.
Yeah.
From the beginning, and I was with him like kind of during the process of his chill. But I did experience a little bit of like like tout Omar.
Yeah, because you were doing Mac agency stuff for a while. You
really
had,
quick, actually.
Like Best Friend. And
yeah,
stuff like that,
I think like I did a couple
OTR.
right before pandemic.
Your sticker's still up at Best Friend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
DJ, that might have been no.
You know, the first time I saw you, I ever met you was at On the Record. When
Yeah.
The ladies takeover.
It
It was you, Bella, Tina T.
Yeah.
Soxy,
Soxy,
Nudia, those are
yeah, exactly.
T-Tag.
Yeah.
It was
And that was like before the pandemic.
It was the
Yeah.
ladies. It was the ladies take. It was the ladies DJ theme, the takeover. Like when everything was like. Remember, everything was like a ladies theme. Like they like in Cali.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
even at Tao, it was like
Yeah.
Pink
Yeah,
Cookies
yeah,
on
yeah,
Thursday.
yeah,
Yeah.
Y'all hate that. Y'all kind of hate that shit a little bit, right?
I like my money. Package my money any damn way you want to package it. I'm not really like.
Yeah.
I'm not really attached to like. I'm not.
I hear from a lot of women DJs that they fucking hate it when they're getting branded with like a woman theme. And that's the only time they can get booked with this theme and everything.
If it pays me, praise the Lord.
Yeah,
You
you're
know
good
what I
with
mean?
it.
Like,
Gotta pay the bills,
is it
baby.
annoying? 1,000%. Is
Yeah.
it something that I'm like, I'm not going to take this job because I feel like my goal is to be in front of a crowd and play music and entertain people. And I really don't care how you package it. I mean, obviously, like, I'm not, like, oh, it's titty night. Like, I'm not doing that. But, like, for the most part, I
They
don't.
got a titty night. I didn't
Hey,
know.
what's the titty night I heard? Titty Thursday night.
Where's that at?
If that's your jam, you do you.
Where the
You do
tatas
you.
at?
I'm not gonna judge, but it's annoying,
is
100%.
annoying.
But it's not anything that I'm gonna like.
You're not gonna pass up on opportunity.
I'm not passing up on the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Right.
Like I'm just that's it. Do I hate when people are like my favorite? If someone were to say you're my favorite female DJ, that doesn't offend me because I am a female and if I'm your favorite girl, I'm down with that. Like this is my girl. If someone juices me as like a female DJ where it's not in a context that it has to be, it's annoying. But oh, you're my favorite female DJ. Fucking dope. Amazing. Thanks.
Book me.
Yeah, for sure. Like that doesn't bother me.
So in Vegas, how did you get started getting booked in Vegas?
Omar,
Omar
actually,
got me.
yeah, Omar.
Where did he
Omar.
spot you?
Yeah, it sounds so crazy.
You know, I would have like when I was started DJing at Tao.
You mentioned this before, Craig.
Yeah. He was obsessed with finding all the best women DJs.
And I will say this: I don't think I've ever met any other buddy that put more women on than Omar did.
Yeah.
Like hands down.
got
As
Omar.
it really for real. Like give the guy his flowers. I remember Vice. It's so funny. God, man, this is crazy. So my first time I'd ever played in Vegas was at the Rio. And it was a top little sky bar up top.
Voodoo.
There you
Yeah.
go, Voodoo Lounge.
Yeah.
Under Anthony Dream Entertainment. So I think I got paid. I'm not sure, but so I went and I did it, and I remember thinking to myself,
Wait. Can I ask you what were the rates around that time? Do you know?
I think I played like 7 hours. Like it was,
For how much? Like 400?
yeah, like maybe $400, maybe $5, but I don't even think it was like $5.
Yesterday's price is not today's.
Definitely not today's price. I'll tell you, it's a long time ago. But yeah, I remember I went out there and I knew then like this isn't my dream to be at the Rio, but this is an opportunity to put me in Vegas. And when I'm done, I'm gonna go out. And when I go out, I didn't know anybody really out there. And it was Vice's birthday at Lavo. We had like a sneaker ball. And remember that? Yeah, I remember I had just hung out with him at Super Bowl for the first time. I was out there with Nike, and he was out there. It was like the Beyonce one, and we partied all night. It was like we had a really good time, clicked, whatever. So I was like, okay, after my set, it's like 2:30. I'm going over to Lavo. I go, and he's like, hey, and he's like, I gotta pee, get on, and I was like, whoa, like, but in my brain, I was like, okay, Ange, this is that moment, like.
This is what you've been dreaming about.
If you say, like, bitch, this is what you came here for, opportunity. So if you say no, like, you're a weak ass bitch. Just do it. It don't matter if you don't know shit.
I can't
just
even think of
fucking
you
do it.
thinking to say no.
I would.
I'm thinking,
it's like,
and just boom.
Nah, I for a second there was a hesitant,
Looked
but
out.
just like I was not expecting that, I just said hi. But I did it. I jumped on, and Omar was in the booth, and Vice comes back. And no, next thing I know, he's just dancing out there, like.
You're like, hurry up,
and I'm like, okay, like, fuck, what the fuck? I'm on his computer. I don't, like, it couldn't have been a more uneasy thing, but I did it. And, you know, after, like, I played, I think, until they decided to shut down. And, yeah, I was like, that's it.
Oh, you finished the night?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Fucking-
I was like,
Like-
Angie got this. Let me go mingle.
To me, it's such an iconic moment in my life. Vice probably wouldn't even remember it, but to me, it was such a big moment. And I thought, that's it. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back. And that didn't happen. I didn't come back. Nobody called. Nobody was not like, hey.
But Omar took notice, right?
So 6 months later, it was about 6 months later, Carla couldn't make her set. And CLA, DJ CLA, my other girl, love her. CLA couldn't make her set. And Omar says, okay, well, do you have another girl that you would refer? And she goes, Angie V. And he says, I think that's the girl that played at Vice's birthday party. Mm-hmm. She goes, yeah. And he goes, done. Call her and see if she can be here in 5 hours.
Wow.
Calls me. Omar calls me. I get in the car. I drive straight to Vegas. I get there. Carla gives me the whole, like, you know, Omar's different. And, you know, you can't, like, you know, don't take anything personal. And, you know, he's kind of tough. And this is what you do. But, you know, the minute I got there, he's like, you nervous? I said, yeah. And he goes, take a shot. This is what you do. It's Vegas. You throw some hip hop, you take it up. You stay up a little bit, you go down, you do some hip hop again, you take it back up. You don't ever stay somewhere too long, and you don't ever stay somewhere too short. And I'll never forget that. And I probably have been playing that way since that advice.
That's a very good breakdown.
And he just was dope, and we clicked. And I think once he realized, like, okay, this girl's cool, she's cool with pressure, he was dope. And he put me on a lot of fucking dope shit, like Kardashians. Omar threw me on, like, every Kardashian party I did, every big party at the time, he really wrote for me. And, you know, it was just a mutual respect. Like, I ride for Omar forever.
Was I DJing at Ptown around that time?
I never opened for you.
No.
This is 2013,
Maybe,
2014.
yeah.
So I had moved on by that time.
Yeah, you went to
I want to say it was like Vice, Eric, Five did Thursday.
Probably D Miles.
I don't think
We
I
never
ever
really,
no.
yeah, because I left 2013.
Oh, okay, so
I was doing like Hakkasan around that time.
Yeah, Omnia had just
I think Omnia had
Way
just
Republic, all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, that was the time where I left Lavo and Tao.
Yeah.
And then I started doing Hakkasan and then Omnia and later.
Yeah.
And then like One Oak, right?
Oh yeah, One Oak. You were heavy, One Oak.
Yeah, so One Oak, that was like a different era. Like
Hyde, you were doing Hyde.
I was doing Hyde.
You were doing Hyde.
Yeah. That was a different era.
So many clubs back then.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Shit.
So you were in the latter part of Tao and Lavo.
Yes. I was when the booth apparently had already moved. Like someone's like, "Oh, you don't know the old booth."
Yeah.
This ain't where the old booth was. It's like
That thing moved like 3 times.
so. I have the still current one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was there that time, and then Omar left, and Padram came in, and I just had felt like I'd been there for probably like 5 years already. And I remember thinking like, okay, like if I'm not where I want to be with this company, I don't really know if I'm gonna be there, you know. And I think. I'll never forget my last gig there. I remember telling myself, this is the last time I'm going to open here. I'm done. Like, that's it. If I want to be better, I have to see myself as better, and I have to let go of comfort. Like, I had this whole pep talk in my head. I did it, and that was literally my last gig in Vegas, and the world shut down, like, the next week.
Wow.
Did you know it was
And I never
coming,
went
or-
back as an open. No. Well, I kind of did feel like I knew that we were in for a longer ride than most people did, because I had booked some really dope shit. So like I had booked a party on Coachella site. I had booked cool shit like festival shit with Live Nation, shows. So I knew overnight that 3 months of my schedule was washed. And to me, I'd felt like if Coachella is not happening, this shit is not going to be 2 weeks. A month. This is months out, and we knew before that everyone else knew it's not happening. You know, we're not doing Coachella. So I knew like, did I think the whole world was gonna shut down in the way it did? No, but I knew like big, huge events weren't gonna be a thing.
Wait, what in your head like triggered you to just like openly leave, like, or to say I'm not gonna open anymore and then leave Tao Group at that time?
No, just knowing what I wanted for myself and knowing that.
Well, what were you most? You must have been frustrated with something, right?
She wanted
Or
a
no?
headline.
I felt like I've been here 5 years, and if I haven't proven myself as a headliner, then, you know, it's so annoying. I'm sure to hear for women it's different, but it is different for women. It is a little different.
Wait, explain.
Even just our voice. is different, right? We don't sound the same hyping up a crowd that the way you guys sound. It's not always it's not always nice. It's not always good, right? Like,
you know what? You're right.
That it's not easy for us.
Yeah, there's this one woman DJ I heard, and she was rocking the crowd. But then when she got on the mic, she sounded like a witch.
It's hard. Yeah.
How you sound like a witch?
Wait, like what?
Because she's the thing is, like, when you're amped, right?
Yeah.
You're like, yo, get your hands up. But if you have a certain kind of voice, get your hands up.
Yeah.
You know, so like everyone was like, yo, what the fuck is that?
Hocus pocus.
Like everyone was literally looking for some witch to fly over them. You know?
But be honest,
Like, yo, who's getting turned up tonight? And you're like, oh shit.
That's hilarious.
Yo, like literally, I would be we were hanging out, having a drink, like, it's getting turned tonight. And you're like, oh shit, like, what was that, yo?
it's hard. You guys have all been there. Y'all are quiet on the side, but you know damn well you've been
And you're in the moment, so you're like juiced up. You know what I mean?
100,000%. Like,
Is there something you gotta do to kind of make your voice?
I drop my voice for sure, and I do sound like an ugly person, but
No, you don't.
it definitely is better than, like, because I ain't gonna lie, and I learned this from watching someone else who wasn't a DJ. It was actually a friend of mine, and I remember she got on the mic one time, and it was so high pitched
Right.
that I was like, oh fuck, like, you don't think about that, but there is a art to being on the mic, and
You got to find your voice.
I don't love mine, but I in my brain I'm like, okay, like Gwen Stefani drops her voice when she's on a mic, you know what I mean? Like she has this like very like low like
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
That was
like, you know what I mean? Like
Oh shit!
yeah, that was good.
You've been working on this, Ange.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like I do. Like when I was young, I did want to do voiceovers, but
Wait, say it again. You did what?
I wanted to do voiceovers when I was younger.
You know how to do voices?
I don't know, but don't
She
make
just
me do
did
it
Gwen
now.
Stefani right
I
there.
know. Who else?
I like it.
Man.
Come on, another one.
Wait.
Don't speak.
Can I just
But
hear?
I can't sing for shit.
Can I just hear you?
I can't sing for shit.
Can I hear you spell bananas in the Gwen Stefani voice?
The shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. The shit is bananas. Like she brings it down.
It's good.
In here.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Is that
probably
kind of your
sounds like
mic
that.
voice, right? A little bit.
I bring it down in my brain. I don't sound like Gwen. I wish I did, but I do bring it like.
Can we
do
hear
it like.
Yeah.
What was
no.
the evolution of your mic voice?
I think, you know what's funny? I had a friend named Ashley Nino who used to do bat mitzvahs when we were dancers. I used to be a dancer. And so she would make money entertaining at bat mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs.
Not like a stripper, right?
No.
Okay.
I wanted to be a backup dancer.
You
by nature,
you
I'm
danced
an-
for Spinderella, right? Salt and Pepper.
No, I didn't dance for her.
backup or-
Just kind of like, no, I was part of her DJ stuff, but
Cool. Yeah.
yeah, like her DJ crew when I first popped up. But by nature, I'm an entertainer. So I love dancing and I love performing.
Hosting.
Yeah, like that's my shit. So she was doing classes and she was telling me how they taught her how to be an MC. She was going to make more money doing MCing. And she gave me the conversation of how you have to drop, if you're a female, you have to drop the volume in your voice. You have to bring it down and deepen it because, you know, our decimals or whatever that word is, it ain't popping like on a grand scale.
Right.
So I have never forgot that. Like it didn't even relate to me at the time. But when I started, Omar again was like, you got to get on the mic. He didn't really give me too many pointers on the mic, just told me, you got to get on the mic.
That's the first time I've heard that you know, a woman should lower the tone of their voice when they're getting on the mic. It's great advice.
Every woman is different. So we all
Right.
have different types of voices. I don't really think I have a very high pitched voice. It's a little kind of cracky sometimes, but
I've met some DJs and I've talked to them. They're like, I never get on the mic because I sound mousy.
yeah.
Right?
And I could
Yeah.
just, and don't get me wrong. There's people that sometimes make fun of me like, yo, but I'm such a small place and it transcends so largely that I don't really care if it doesn't match me. I just need it to match the energy of what's out there.
Right.
You know, it's hard. It's not easy. But I do think as women, we have that disadvantage that it is harder for us to rock a crowd, like especially in now's time, you know? Based on just our voice alone. I could be wrong. Someone could disagree with me. That's fine. I don't care. But that's just my opinion.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It is like, it is one of the things that no one ever talks about that shit
It
either.
is motherfucking facts.
It's great.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
fucking dope. Wait, so you knew you were like, so you were at Tao. You
Yep.
were there for 5 years.
Yep.
And you just knew like this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I did. You know, and I also just felt like, okay.
Was there a turning point? Was it something that happened that you're like, this is enough is enough?
Did you hear a DJ like, why is he headlining or she headlining? And
yeah, that would
you know what?
That would be the turning point when you saw
Yes.
someone
No.
that moved to headline position
You're like,
ahead of you or something
the
like
fuck?
that.
No, because as women, we don't really have that very often. You
no,
know
when
what
I say
mean?
he
like,
or she.
I don't think there would. I think I would only probably feel that way if it was a woman, not because I'm a hater, but because like, okay, like if I am putting myself in this company and another girl who probably has not is already surpassing me, then I have not done my job and it's time for me to go too. It's not even just a reflection of them; it's also a reflection of myself.
Oh, it's more so like it's not a girl thing. It's not because I'm a woman.
But if I am a woman and I've been here, and if I was doing my job to the
And
best,
homegirl kinda
and
take
homegirl
action,
just comes in, then I
it's
deserve to
me.
be kicked
Yeah.
the fuck out. Like it's just not for me.
Got it.
For whatever that reason could be. Even if it's maybe the person just doesn't want to book you because they don't care for your style or whatever. Fine. Like I don't believe in beating your head on a, like I'm not the bitch that's like pick me. You say no probably 2 times, I'm out. Like what's for me will be for me.
You get it.
You know, that's just
Yeah.
but that's me. Some girls are like that, and I sometimes look up to them because I wish I had that. But I just had felt like it wasn't just Tao specifically. I thought, bitch, you getting old. You've been doing this a minute. Man.
Thank you for being so honest and
This
vulnerable.
is the truth. Like, this is, like, bitch, you up there.
Bitch, you up there.
And this is how I talk to myself. I mean, this is not a front.
This sounds
I
like
look
some-
in the
this-
mirror.
This is like insecure.
No,
Issa
this-
Rae looking at herself in the mirror.
That's what it is.
I felt like every DJ has looked in the mirror and been like, bitch, you getting old.
You know,
Oh, you gotta hype yourself
No,
up.
don't.
You that bitch.
I'm gonna take the camera off. Don't do that.
the bags, but I do hype myself up. My friends all make
Yeah.
fun of me because I'll get ready and they're like, we always know when you're getting ready because we hear, whew, all right, here we go, let's go. I do. I hype myself,
that
but I
bitch.
tear myself down too. But I just
love it.
thought I thought, you're getting older and you have had the best time. And at that time, I was really proud of what I had done. I DJ for Dodgers. I did cool shit with Nike. I'd traveled, everything I'd wanted. I'd headlined maybe not in Vegas, but in other places.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, you did it and it was great, but what the fuck you gonna do? Like, it's 2020 is pulling up on you and you, like, what's next? Started taking a little bit of production school because I have realistically OCD and sitting in front of a computer screen making music is very hard for me.
So wait, did you consider like giving up DJing? Or
Yeah,
just
I was kind of
headlining in
considering just
Vegas?
starting to figure out what my next step was. Probably
Got it.
not DJing.
Wow.
And I think,
Did you have an idea, or
No.
you're like Amazon might be?
no, I definitely knew it wasn't going to be Amazon. But
Okay.
Wait,
I was-
do you have like an intuition?
It seems like it.
I have.
No,
I'm just
do you
curious.
want? I don't have an
Don't?
intuition, but I will say I have a very strong trust in God, like in the sense of like I have given up the thought process on I'm controlling my life, right? And it was around
Amen.
this time. I had wanted so hard to do these things, and the more like I want this, I'm gonna. It wasn't really happening for me, and the minute I was like, okay, this doesn't, and this is exactly this time, literally this time. This doesn't look, you had a blast and you had fun and the party's been amazing, but girl, like maybe we need to see what is going to be the next step. Then I got to the point of, I don't really know what the next step is. I don't know. I know I'm good at entertaining people. That's pretty much all I know. So God, whatever you have for me, just let me know, because now I'm tired and I just want to know where I'm going to be. Like I still got the drive, but I just don't know. I felt lost. I didn't know what was for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, let go, let
But
God.
I let go, and it's so corny.
Let go, let God.
It is the corniest shit. Like, it's Pinterest, right? I'm a Pinterest ass bitch. Let go
Let God.
and let God. And the minute I did that shit, it was like, boom, here you go.
God did.
All you want. Here it is. Anything you fucking want, here you go. But I also worked my ass off to do that. So
You did.
as much as you can give up and let go, you still have to show up and do the work. That part is that there's no secret hack. That's it. You just got to work.
It's not only that though. It's like when the opportunities come, and you've never had those opportunities, you're like, I got to do this. I've got to take it.
Yeah.
And
I like adventure too.
Yeah.
You know, I like that.
That's so interesting. I was having a conversation with these motherfuckers because I just came from Mexico City.
Okay. Oh, I was just in Mexico City too. Like, well,
were you
on a layover? But yeah.
Oh God, I was.
That airport is not the vibe.
It's funny because they have the Aztec, the temples. Mm-hmm. They have the sun. Yep. And the moon, and I was like in this hot air balloon, and I was like looking over it.
You did it?
I did the hot air balloon.
That's the
how beautiful is that, right?
Yeah. So
one thing I want to do. It's on my bucket list.
Yeah,
I wanted to go in.
It's
I
worth
wish
it.
I would have known you were there.
Yeah.
I wanted to go in early, but I didn't want to be in Mexico City by myself for 2 days. It was a little silly.
Wait, when were you there?
I was just there. Like I just got back from Puerto Escondido. Like I flew to Vegas. Saturday?
He was there last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
Oh shit!
I think I saw that you were there because
yeah.
But
bro, you were there it's not that.
We might have missed each other by
maybe.
But yeah,
bro, it's the 18th.
But next time you go, like
you came back a week ago.
So I told him when I was in this hot air balloon, I've never really felt. I felt like the presence of a higher being or God.
Okay.
And and it could be like I was witnessing something so beautiful and like historic. There's all this history, where we were. And I told him I felt the presence of God. So I've been curious about God. And then I recently listened to this podcast. Bobby Lee?
Yeah, absolutely.
Comedian. So he's like 51 years old. He goes to this AA meeting. And it's all these Hollywood types. It's like a Hollywood AA meeting. And he's 51. He's at the peak of his career. He's making the most money. He's getting the most opportunities. But he feels the most lost.
Yeah.
And he feels the most troubled. And he feels like he just feels very empty. And there's these these famous actors and Hollywood lawyers and accountants there. And all of them were saying, you're missing the presence of God.
Okay.
You don't have the presence of God in your life. And then now that happened literally, I watched that when I came back from Mexico City. So I started talking to these motherfuckers about the presence of God.
Yeah, I love it.
You know what I mean?
It's a big deal.
But I think it's interesting that you say this because it's like, at some point you try to force things to happen sometimes, right?
Yeah.
You want it to happen so much that you think you obsessing over it and trying to make it happen and trying to do all these things. Like I've done everything. I went to this person. I did this. I've done this. I've done that. And then sometimes you just have to kind of let it go and let time pass and you know what I mean? Let something else take in control.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
I tell that to everybody. The minute I really, and it was a conversation that I had with myself. It wasn't like an energy shift. It was a very specific, I talk to God. Like I talk to my God. I say shit and I cuss. Like I cuss to my Jesus. Like it's just very conversational. Mm-hmm. And I remember how specifically saying God, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I'm in this crazy, weird area. I'm not unhappy, but I do feel lost. I have nothing to lose and nothing to gain. So
just guide me.
Just do it. And at this point, I was happy with what I had done with my DJ career.
You were ready to receive the guidance.
Yeah. And if God had something different for me, I was okay with that. But I think before I wasn't okay with that. I still really wanted to do that and really wanted to be that and wanted to be a Vice and wanted to, experience all that. But the minute I just was kind of and the world's ending too, in our brains. I had just lost my best friend, my number one cheerleader, probably in 2019, 18, 19.
Sorry about that.
So that was a really big,
blow.
And she was a hardcore Christian and truly believed that God was going to heal her from her cancer. And I watched her eliminate just tons of things from her life. And ultimately, if you look at it, God didn't do that for her. So there was a big part of me that was angry.
Where were you at?
Bro, I just watched this person throw themselves at your feet and you just didn't do it.
If you were really real, why didn't you show up?
100%. So I think a combination of me being so doubtful to God, growing up, I grew up very Christian and, even though my dad was hood, he was always sentenced to a Christian home instead of jail. So I grew up in one of those Victory Outreach type kind of churches. Real
a halfway house?
Yeah. So instead of doing their time, a pastor would come and say, let him live in our in-home and we'll he'll Christian background, they work and whatever, but it's you live there.
Like a Homeboy Industries.
100%.
Okay.
But it's all like cholos. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Homeboy Industries mainly all gangsters, yeah.
So I grew up very, in tune with that part of God and Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Like that's a big part of me. But I think I really had doubted him during that time. So I think even just God honored me, even just saying, hey man, I'm really not on the best terms with you right now, but like I still really kind of believe in you. Just do what you do. And he did. And God showed himself faithful to me. And I might not understand that part, but that's not my journey. It's not for me to understand, kind of where I had to get with that. But yeah. God is real, man. And if you don't believe that, that's cool. That's I'm not the person that's like going to jam it down your throat. Whatever's for everybody. But God is so real for me. It's so real.
I had an experience like that too. I was questioning God and stuff like that, and then my uncle collapsed in front of me, and he had blood clot, and he had a heart attack, and he died in front of me. But then he got resuscitated and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh shit. So it depends on how you believe. If you don't believe in God, you're like, well, show up. I want to see you. And sometimes it's a sign that it's something like that. Somebody found a coma in front of me, and then came back to life and stuff like that. I'm like, oh shit.
But you see how God used that person to
show you.
Yeah.
But then after that, I was
for him. But
he's alive. But
even just the thing.
Went through the thing. Yeah.
The fact that you got to go through that.
Yeah.
But,
to show me.
Yeah.
But after that, after that, I learned that the anxiety of trying to control everything, you're not kind of in control of shit. Like God got this shit's all on his terms. So I'm like, you know what? Go with the motion and go through it and just live through it and let him guide you throughout the way. That's how I see most of life and shit like that.
But then at the same time, don't you guys think like, don't you, the way I see it too is like, man, I hope there's something better than me running this shit, because this right here is not what I want to be handling. Like this right here, I need something better than this.
Yes.
Like I am not equipped to turn life into what I want it to be. I need something bigger.
I think a lot like you, and you're like, I'll do the work.
Yeah.
But you don't know the answers.
Yes.
So remember with Kirk, where you'll be like, I'll be like, yo, we should do this, and you're like, how are you gonna do this, Jamie? Tell me how the fuck. And I'm like, I don't know. But we'll figure this shit out.
100%.
I think we need to differentiate, like the belief in God and just being like lucky too at the same time. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think I'm lucky.
No. I think
I try at the casino.
I think
to tell you.
I think what you like. The thing is this. I think there are times when you can believe in that certain things are a sign of God and everything. Mm-hmm. But I also think like you have to like. You can't just say like, well, God is going to make the shit work out for itself. Like, you got to make the shit work out.
No, I mean, you got to put the hard work.
Yeah, because I've talked to this motherfucker. We've done the podcast for 5 years, and I've never heard God is going to make it all work out. You know what I'm saying?
But also
like,
he is because.
But this is the first time we've actually talked about religion on this podcast.
I love that. I'm so happy
because I never spoke to people about politics or religion because I don't know where you stand with the conversation me and you had not long ago, Kirk, when I had to ask you literally, and never was. I'm like, yo, do you even believe in God? And you gave me your answer, and I was like, oh shit, this is the first time I even speak about religion with this dude.
Yeah.
And we've been friends for 5 years.
Yeah, I believe in the presence of like a higher being, God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I never wanted to be, that preacher here or whatever, but 1000% of how I see where she's coming from, because I'm a lot the same.
Yeah.
And also sometimes God's yes is not your yes.
Yeah.
So like, that's the other thing. Like sometimes what we want is not what God's going to give us.
Yeah, and it's not
at least not right away.
It's not on your timing.
Or sometimes
it's at the
not
time.
At all.
Yeah.
Or sometimes not at all. Like that's the part of just really like, it is always going to work out. If you really blindly let go, that's just that what's for me is always for me, what's not is not. It's a comfortable piece of when a door shuts that maybe you're fucking holding. Like, don't get me wrong, when my last 3 Raider games got cut, that shit sucked. Like, I am like, that broke my fucking like, no, I want to be there. Not, you could come. No, I don't want to be there like that. I want to be there like this. But at the same time, like I took that stab. I was like, fuck, man, this sucks. And then I was like, you know what? what's for me is for me.
Back to the drawing
At the
board.
end of the day, it's all good. Like you just have to have a comfortable peace in knowing that what leaves you is okay. And if it's so stupid, if it's meant to come back, whatever. But like if you're just always walking in expectations and walking in a place of like just wanting stuff that sometimes it's just not fucking for you. It's just not. And you're holding back a piece of your mind that it could be freely enjoying what's in front of you right now.
At this point in your career, are you like, do you think you've exceeded your expectations of where you thought your career would go? Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? 100%. I've already gone through like, how in the world is 2023 going to be better than 2022? And it might not, right? Like I might not get the thrill of it's going to be really hard for me to find a bigger thrill of the Raiders, right? Like, because that's an ingrained piece of me. That's so hype. I've gotten to go and play in places, you know, I'm a beach girl. The fact that I got to go to Bahamas twice in 1 year and get paid for it is amazing to me. Like I'm so thankful for all these opportunities. So yeah, like I definitely have exceeded 100%. I don't want to stop. I don't know and I still don't know what that means. I still feel as lost as I did in 2018, because like now I feel like I've been dumped this blessing on my lap and this group of people that follow me and ride for me, and it's like, okay, now what next? Do you know what I mean? So I don't necessarily feel any, like, I know I'm in the right place and I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But I still don't know shit.
Yo, how good did it feel? You've had like you felt how you felt right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And you had social media success. You had Twitch success.
Yeah.
And then going back to Tao as a headliner, after feeling how you felt as an opener, and you were kind of done. And then that first initial time headlining, like, what was that feeling like?
It felt great. Like, it felt great. And it was like probably one of the few times where I was like, I'm sure there's people in this building that don't even believe that I should be here. Right? Like, probably do. I don't give a shit. I'm still here. Like, my name's on this. I'm getting paid. I'm cashing the check. Like, it just was it felt great. It still feels great. I still walk into that room with that like opener mind frame and still like rethink of Five and Vice and Eric and, you know, how they ran that room and just that energy of like, because sometimes you get stuck in like, do I feel imposter syndrome? A lot of times. Yeah. Like they're going to realize that I'm not shit, or they're going to like, wait, I don't know.
Explain that a little bit. What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I think that I just had been an opener for so long that I don't know. I don't want to say I don't believe in myself, because I know I can do anything.
Right.
Like, I do believe in myself, but I'm not ignorant enough to think that everyone else believes in me. Right. Like, that's not the case. You can believe in yourself all you want, but that doesn't mean everyone's on board for that.
Because they might see you a certain way.
They might already have an envision of who they have seen you to be.
Yeah.
And that might be hard for them to overcome.
Well, I like, is it imposter syndrome where you're like actually headlining and you're doing your thing?
I don't think I'm an imposter.
No. But then you're kind of like, you know, you're doing your thing and you're doing what you do, but inside you're kind of you're thinking they're seeing through you, kind of thing.
Yeah, like damn,
like this is not really who you are. Like,
no, not who you are, but it's like, damn, this should really happen.
Kind of like
they really let me in.
Yeah, kind of, 100%.
Like, damn, and at any point they're gonna know that this badge may be not as good as their badge. That they let me in.
Yeah, like, and it sucks. But I don't care ultimately, right? Like, I really don't care what anybody thinks about me at this point anymore. I think I did when I was younger, but then, and that's when I started being like ascending. Is when I just don't care. If you don't like me, cool.
I can't control
That's
that.
great. Like, there's 1,000 million people in this world that might. Okay, cool. On to the next. If you have an opinion about me, it's your opinion. I have my opinion on people that might not be accurate too. I just don't care really anymore about, like, I thrive to be a great person and treat people with kindness and help people feel seen who don't feel seen. But like, if you don't fuck with me, I'm not gonna go out of my way to make you. Like, I just am who I am all the time, and that's a decent, good person. So if you don't fuck with me off the bat, I really don't know what I could do to make you.
That's your problem, and I can't fix that for you.
Very much so. Yeah. And I'm not going to try.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, cool. You don't like me? All right, cool. Still going to come turn up. You still going to see me. Hi.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is really not my concern. But yeah, I don't know. It's dope. It's awesome. It's really great to hear. Starting off the year, sometimes it gets a little scary. So I really appreciate the hype because, damn, I probably needed it more than I realized.
No, I think, in the past, 2 or 3 years since, since the pandemic and everything shut down, we've been watching you do your thing, and it's been great. It's been amazing. And we're also like really happy for you.
Thank you.
And I feel like if there was anyone that deserved it, you definitely deserved it. And then you stepped it up, to me, like I feel like there's certain points when I was just like, I would see what you're doing. And there's certain DJs that would they would hit me up like, you believe this shit? Like you believe this shit is happening?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo fam, you couldn't do that.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like they hear me like, can you like she's at the Raiders? And I'm like, you
100%.
could. I said, look what she's doing with Little John, right? No one wants to see your ass behind Little John jumping around, being all hype. You know what I'm saying? You would look whack. You would make it look whack, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's making it look good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's dope. Thank you for having my back on that one.
I mean, the thing is real recognizes real. That's what it really is.
I like that. Yeah.
When you're headlining in these big rooms now in Vegas and you're kind of you're in your headliner position.
Yep.
Do you feel 100% comfortable in your sets, or you
know
have
what's
to?
crazy? I do for the first probably hour. I will say I struggle on that second hour of like feeling like I walk in that shit and I'm that bitch. Like you're not telling me I'm not. But then by hour 2, I don't know if it's just the time that I've given myself to get comfortable now, and then I'm like starting to second guess myself and like, where am I going from here? Yeah. But in the beginning, no. Like I'm nervous. I'm fucking suck it up.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
I've had a conversation with a couple openers who like started headlining, and I've talked to them and I said, I've been headlining in Vegas for like over 15 years.
Almost 20 years, yeah.
So when I get stuck, I have old sets, or I have my sensibilities are to pull old headliner energy and sets.
Okay.
But when you're an opener and you're starting to headline, when you're panicking, you're pulling your opener sets.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
100%.
So then,
because your openers are like, opening is amazing, and it is a craft, right? Because I've seen 2 different types of openers. The one that is really trying to stay so far under the radar that it's not good. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just playing shit that's just like no energy. Like there's not even a build up to where you're going. It's just. I can't.
They're like dialing it in almost to a certain degree, or they're being too respectful to the headliner,
right? Like too respectful. And then there's some there's 3. Then there's some headliners that just balls to the walls at 12, 10 minutes, for 20 minutes. I'm going in hard. All right, cool, whatever. If you're playing a banger, I'll just play the shit at the end of the set. A banger's a banger. Like it is what it is to me. I'll make it work no matter what. And then there's the opener that just understands the gradual transcending energy. And the truth is, a few minutes before, you need even Usher, like you need that Usher, before the headliner goes on. Like build that energy up with throwbacks that still pop, because you're building that energy up. I don't mind that. But you do go to the old faithfuls that you're like, fuck, like, because I know this is going to work.
Yeah.
Songs that stand the test of time. And I feel like, I could be wrong, and you guys, this is an all of you question. With the current state of where hip hop is for a nightclub, it is getting a lot harder to not bring back some of those songs for energy.
Right.
Because it's not there right now.
I think the problem is, like, sometimes when I hear an opener and they're headlining the first hour, they're playing all the hits.
Yep.
And then it's kind of like autopilot. Like, these are the hits.
Yep. Yep.
But then they haven't really developed a style.
Yep.
So then they get lost, and then they start playing an opener set in their second hour. And I start listening, and I'm like, yo, it's 1:30 or it's 1 o'clock or 1:45, and you're playing like opener shit.
How low by Lunatic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How low can you go? Yeah.
You're doing like all this opener shit that nobody wants to fucking hear. And then it's kind of one of those things where you need to start building this, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like it's going to be a gradual thing where in like 2 to 3 years,
Yeah. Okay.
The 2 to 3 years of headlining, when you start panicking, you start doing the sets that you're doing now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
It's kind of like a comedian, right? Like a comedian.
You got that one joke. That one joke hits.
Well, like, you know, like they end on the strongest joke.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. So then, but a good comedian there, like I think Louis C.K. was like, he keeps himself sharp.
Yeah.
So he tries to start with his strongest joke, and then he tries to build it up. Like, how do I build it up after my strongest joke?
Yeah.
But it takes time. So it's not something that you're going to figure out. Like, I know what I have to do now. Like, yo, it took you, I don't know. It took you 5 to 10 years to figure out how to be a great opener or to hold down a big room on an opening as an opener. It's going to take you a few years to figure out that second hour.
I thank you for that because I definitely need
Does that kind of make sense?
I'm hard on myself. You know, I'm very like, fuck. But then I always tell myself, like, you opened, there were times when I would get back on DJing for some great DJs and the room might have been a little thin. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not on every time, it's like I freaking, and Vegas is harder to me, which it shouldn't be, but it's a very hard city because now I think as you not just playing for the people, you're playing for management now. Like you get to open a headliner level and you're playing for two completely different crowds. And that's management and staff and the club. And that shit is fucking hard. You go to Seattle, you go to Nebraska, you're not playing for them. You're just playing genuinely for the people.
Yeah.
But they're open, you know, 2 nights a week. Vegas is every night. So the staff is just they're very opinionated. They're very... So it's.
But like you said, don't worry about them.
I know
you can't do that.
I agree, but I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z. It's not my favorite thing about me. I don't like it. I'm trying, but it's a very hard habit to break.
Here's the most fucked up thing about staff, is that they never gonna really value you till you're gone.
Yep.
And then they hear other DJs and they're like, "Holy shit,
Bring her back."
Never was the shit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are they bringing in here?
Yeah.
You know, D was the shit. Oh my god! And then when they see you after you left, after like 3 months, they're like, "Oh my god, we missed you so much."
Yeah, where you been?
But
yeah,
when you were there, they were probably like, "Oh my god, he's doing the same shit."
Oh, we know what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
he's gonna do this. Man, I gotta hear this shit again.
Yeah,
but it takes time to build that arsenal and to build those sets, those headlining sets, so that when you're in, like, you know, when you feel like you're backed up in a corner, and you don't know what to do, the first thing you're gonna grab is like, oh shit, I know this opening thing. I did this when I was opening, so I'm just gonna grab this.
Yeah.
And then you throw that out and you're like, hopefully something else comes to mind. And you shit, oh, nothing's coming. I'll do this other opening set.
Yeah.
But then 3 years of headlining, you're like, I'm gonna grab the set that I was doing when I first started headlining.
Yeah.
And then it's like 5 years passes and you're like, oh shit, I got 5 years of headliner arsenal sets. And then by that time, you're not pulling any opener shit at all.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense? Yeah.
It 1,000 makes sense. I love that. But I will, and maybe it's just me getting older too. It's really hard for me to like love some of the new shit coming out hip hop wise. Like house EDM stuff, remixing, great, cool, gives it a new energy. But some stuff, it's just hard. Like, you know, I don't know. But
you know, I always tell Neva, like we talk about this all the time. Whenever we feel lost and like whenever we feel like, you know, like, oh shit, I'm not feeling this music.
Yeah.
We go out and we listen to other motherfuckers.
Exactly.
But we don't see the same motherfuckers. We go out to see other motherfuckers because I've actually learned from really bad DJs.
Okay. Because
like I learned more from a bad DJ.
Because they're a little bit more like
no, they're taking a chance.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're taking chances.
Yeah.
Agreed. I agree with you on that.
Like when I hear a bad DJ, they'll play a song I would never fucking play.
Yep.
And then I'll see the crowd like erupt and I'll be like, oh my God, that shit works. And I'll be like, wait, if I took that one song, I could build a 10 song set around that. They're not doing it right. I'll do it right.
Yeah.
Do it better than
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that always happened. So I never really try to go see like the typical the great DJ that everyone sees. I try to see the one that I know takes the most chances.
That's smart because you know what, you're right. I think I learn a lot from a lot of the openers that are playing before me.
Yeah.
When they'll drop some shit that like I would never play, and I'm like, ooh. this shit hits. Like, I didn't think this would hit, but it hits.
But then they played it. I love it. Like listen to these DJs that play they'll play like a mega hit.
Yeah.
But they play a mega hit like it's nothing. They just kind of mix it in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, how do you? Like you got this amazing dish.
Yeah.
And you just kind of threw it on a paper plate in front of the people. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take that dish.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring sparklers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna garnish it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna serve champagne with it.
Yeah, we're having bubbly.
Yeah. I'm gonna make that shit look like fine dining. And you just mixed that song in like it was a hot dog with like beans and shit,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna make that shit look like fucking amazing. I'm gonna make it look like steak, or I'm gonna make it look crazy.
It ain't Wiener Schnitzel, it's a hat.
Yeah. But but those are the things that you kind of learn. Like at least that's what I learned.
I love it. I love being in Vegas. I love the like struggle of the room. You know what I mean? Like I like that I'm on my toes. I like that it's an adventure. It is an adventure, and it's but it's not easy. It's not easy being, a headlining DJ by any means. And to me, at least, that's the honest truth of it. But you know what? It's not easy doing anything if if you're not doing it right? Like if you're just doing it and you don't care, then it's easy. But I care, so it's not easy for me. Like I really always want to try to like, okay, where can I push this? I don't think my crowd's really gonna F with this. Can I try it? Like where, you know what I mean? Do I got a lot of Mexicans here? Do I got a lot of white people? Do I got a lot of black people? Like where are we at? It's like a constant, not just about the music. It's a scan of a room. It's who's buying bottles? What ethnicity of a person is buying those bottles? Like all that shit comes into factor.
Yeah.
To me personally, that's just how I run a room. So it's a constant just brain. It's like the wheel is just nonstop for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on how long you want to play.
There was a DJ in New York. I forgot his name, but whenever he got lost, he would play the most outrageous shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I remember watching him DJ, and he kept playing all this weird ass shit. And I talked to him afterwards, and I was like, yo, like you really went all over the place. And he was just like, yeah, when I'm lost, I just play my favorite song. I don't care. He's like, I don't care if the crowd likes it or not, but I just drop it from the one. And somehow it brings me to a better place.
Like mentally. Yeah.
And then, and I said, but yo, there were some people that were like fucking hating it. And he's like, you know what? You're not a good DJ if everyone loves you, you're not a good DJ. He's like, you need to piss some people off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's
I
like,
can see that, yeah.
And I was like, explain what you mean by pissing them off. He's like, you need to piss them off because they're gonna hate you. You need to show them they need to kind of hate you. Like, why are you playing this? But then they see the crowd reacting and they're like, oh, people like this. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of like, and I was just like, oh, you're right. You need to kind of prove people wrong, but like kind of piss them off. And
almost it even pissed them off to show them like that moment when they're like, oh, fuck, wait.
Yeah.
Kind of do fuck with you. It's like, let me bring you down.
I knew you were cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And it takes, honestly, everyone has their one song, right? Like everyone has their one song that takes them into this great space. That's the goal. If you got a whole crowd, like you're never going to play all the songs for all the people that they want to hear in this room.
But it's boring too.
100%.
It's predictable. I think what's worse than a horrible DJ is a predictable DJ. That's the worst.
You just want to allow every like age bracket, especially Vegas. Vegas is the one city. It's the hardest and easiest room in the world, right? It's the one city where everyone's going out there for one reason and one reason only, and that's to get blacked out drunk and have a great time, right? Like, that's pretty much all. Like, you're going to Vegas for the time of your fucking life. That's it. So it's kind of that part. It is easy. Mm-hmm. If you really want to dumb it down to the science, it's really not that hard. I think when you just get into your head in a way that I probably do, it just make it harder for myself. But because you are overthinking it. I am overthinking. I can't speak for everybody, but it's not so hard. It is great, but yeah, when you do overthink it now, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that I kind of learned is that if I do go all out there and I drop some crazy shit, I've got to act like
you dropping that shit with confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's my shit.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
can't
going
drop it.
off.
Yeah, 100,000%. You can't drop it. You can't like, let's
I can't half-ass that shit.
No.
Like
You can't look to your left. You can't look to right.
No,
Like, you
they-
gotta like drop that shit. And even when
Yeah.
they look at you fucked up, you gotta look at them like, you
What?
ain't on this shit?
Yeah.
Wait, you're not on this shit? Like, people are, yeah.
I did the first couple of times when I would try those like crazy, like that. I would take a chance like that.
Yeah.
I definitely recoiled like, oh, that was a bad idea.
Put your head down, look at your phone, like, or you accidentally
yeah.
spilled on
That's
yourself.
stupid.
And they can feel the energy. They're looking at it like, this motherfucker doesn't know what he's doing.
100%.
Yeah.
I do. I will say my best sets are when I definitely am just lost in my own sauce. Like, just like, if I'm looking up too much, I'm fucking myself over a little bit. Like, I look up just enough. You got to read your crowd. You got to look at your crowd. But if I stay focused on my crowd,
Yeah.
I see where I lose myself.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh my God.
Like, it's a balance for me. Maybe not for everybody, but
No,
for
I
me,
agree.
it's a balance. It's like, it's just a balance. And if I'm too focused here, then this shit is lacking. And if I'm too focused here, then that shit is lacking.
Yeah.
So I will say, yeah, that's probably my like biggest thing is just trying to people please more than anything.
I do. That happens to me a lot because when I see the reaction, the big pop,
Yeah.
you're like, fuck, what do I do after this?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like I'm about to, your high is so high, you're like, fuck, how do I keep it up here or how do we go past this? And that anxiety really kicks my ass most of the time. So I do get lost in that shit too. I'm like,
Yeah, 100%. And I tell myself all the time, it's like little Omar just lives in my little head. Do you know what I mean?
Omar.
Like, little Omar and his little ass guy's on my shoulder with his little loafers and like, right, just sitting there.
No socks.
No socks. Absolutely not. Hopefully powder. But he's just sitting there like roller coaster. Like don't just roller coaster. If you're open format, roller coaster.
You know, it's funny when you get in those situations where you throw like when you drop a really big banger.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do I play next? The best thing you could do is just enjoy the song.
Yeah.
Like write it out.
No. Enjoy the song. Because when you're enjoying the song, your mind is going to be like, oh, I should play this next. But if you're panicking,
good point.
If you're panicking and you're like, oh my God, it becomes just math. And
Yeah.
you're just like, what's another big song? And then you're playing predictable.
Yep.
But when you're enjoying the song,
something comes to mind.
then your inner taste starts letting you know.
There you go.
Oh, this is so good. You know what would go great after this? This song, and then this song. And then by that time, you're like, oh my God. Oh, this like I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And then you're following the flow. But if you're going there and you're panicking, it's always gonna be like you're hitting the wall.
And
you're
panic
trying
is
to
a
break the
resistance,
wall,
right? Like you're
Yeah.
resisting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
so
a good,
like
that's
just
a good one.
just stop
Yeah,
for a
actually.
second and like close your eyes. And I've done this, and I just kind of try to enjoy the song.
Oh, okay. I see.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
put both headphones on when I was like, okay, let me like.
No, like yo, like there will be times like
My freaking
you'll look
monitors are
at
like
me
both
and
of them.
I could I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you
No.
saying?
I was, you said the monitor. I was like, it puts headphones on. I'm like, my monitors are so ridiculously loud. Like,
Mine too. I learned that from Kirk.
Yeah, but no, what Cook is saying is right. Like sometimes just like take a sip of a drink while you're listening to the song.
Right.
You just kind of vibe out and you're like, oh shit, I know what's gonna hit.
yeah, yeah. Or even like a word that maybe you forget in the song,
Maybe
and you're
like
like, boom.
pound the homie, like this shit's rocking, right? Like,
Like fool yourself a little bit. Like,
Yeah, just enjoy the moment and the
Yeah.
energy. And I'm telling you, like, even
That's
if
a
you're
good
still a little lost, at least you don't look like you're fucking
yeah,
lost.
Your
Yeah.
confidence is just
Dude.
up.
Yeah.
Good.
It's the look. You
yeah.
can't look. Yeah, you can't look
It's
lost.
a fucking vibe.
That
But,
they'll
yeah.
eat your ass up.
Yeah.
And that's any crowd. Like you look lost up there, and you're getting eaten up.
Yeah,
But it's getting better. I'm not drinking as much. Like I'm getting more comfortable in my space. Like
I don't
know?
even think it was. I don't think it was the bad. I think you're just being over analytical. I don't think
Maybe.
the crowd. I don't think the crowd even senses it, and management doesn't sense it. I just think as DJs, we're always over. I've never gone home after DJing. Like even if I've had a great night, like the most perfect night, you know, I'm just the type of like person where I'm really just focusing on where I lost it or I felt I lost it.
right.
Even with him, like we'll record an amazing episode and I'll just focus on some like one or two minute things and I'll
Why
be
are we
like,
like
that's
that?
the worst.
Like
Yeah.
why? Like right now, I'm like Neva's leaving early. Did I annoy him?
no,
He
he
leaving
needs
talk too
to.
much.
He needs to
Why
DJ.
he gotta go? Like damn man. Like what did I like? Fuck.
No.
I'm just kidding.
But I feel like that's just that's us always thinking of the next thing. Because we want to be prepared, right?
Yeah.
So
you're right. Like that trauma thing we talked about earlier.
Right.
Yeah, you're absolutely. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, you're right.
That's why.
Like if I set myself up in my head that maybe tonight was bad, if I get the note that it was bad, I already I know, I'm ready.
Know.
Okay, I never thought about that. Yeah.
I'm not only am I ready, but I will be in solution mode before anyone even talks to me about it.
You already have 3 plans on how to fix it.
That makes sense.
I am like that for sure.
Yeah. But also
excuses. It's not excuses.
And also what we don't want, like, what's the last thing I want to do? I don't want to bask into the pleasure of being like, I had a great night and just be this delusional motherfucker that thought I had a great night.
I killed it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I maybe have experienced that like once or 2 times.
I don't.
Ever.
I've
came off something and like, fuck, like, wow, this was really, like, I'm really proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe 2 times ever.
Well, I got to come see you in Vegas.
Yeah, please do. Absolutely.
And we're all, look, I know I want you to like take a time to celebrate. We want to celebrate you on this podcast and this episode because we're really happy for you. I love that the last time we spoke, you're like, yeah, I think I'm just going to work for Amazon, and then look where you are now. I love it.
It was, it's wild. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, bitch gotta work. Like,
she said that on the last episode.
It's the true. Like, I just work. Closed mouths don't get fed. You don't work, you don't get fed. You know what I mean? It's just all that. Like, it's just, I don't think anybody is too great to go to do what they have to do to get shit done. That's what it is. But and reason why I chose Amazon, because I was like, okay, the world's shutting down. What are things that are going to be needed no matter what? Amazon. Bam. Like, it wasn't a well thought out process, but it also was. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't have to work for Amazon, but if they would like to sponsor, and now I'm like an influencer on Amazon selling my shit. So, what's up?
Yeah. Nice.
Full circle.
Up? You know what I mean? Let me post a link to my store. But yeah, it's definitely full circle. It's wild. It's crazy. Just hearing it's nuts.
It's great to have you here, Ange.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thanks
for
having
me
back.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
Anytime.
you guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys got to come hang out.
DJ Angie V.
Same version. But what do?
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.